Don't forget to subscribe. Afterwards, the wisest and most spiritual books from the greatest authors await you every day. And now buckle up, sit back and we'll begin.
Rumi. Poems by Rumi. The sunrise ruby. In the early morning hour, just before dawn, lover and beloved wake and take a drink of water. She asks, "Do you love me or yourself more? Really? Tell the absolute truth." He says, "There's nothing left of me. I'm like a ruby held up to the sunrise. Is it still a stone, or a world made of redness? It has no resistance to sunlight." This is how Halaj said, "I am God," and told the truth. The ruby and the sunrise are one. Be courageous and discipline yourself. Completely become hearing and ear, and wear this sun ruby as an earring. Work. Keep digging your well. Don't think about getting off from work. Water is there somewhere. Submit to a daily practice. Your loyalty to that is a ring on the door. Keep knocking, and the joy inside will eventually open a window and look out to see who's there. A great rose tree. This is the day and the year of the rose. The whole garden is opening with laughter. Iris whispering to cypress. The rose is the joy of meeting someone. The rose is a world imagination cannot imagine. A messenger from the orchard where the soul lives. A small seed that points to a great rose tree. Hold its hand and walk like a child. A rose is what grows from the work the prophets do. Full moon, new moon. Accept the invitation spring extends, 4 birds flying toward a master. A rose is all these, and the silence that closes and sits in the shade, a bud. Don't go back to sleep. The early breeze before dawn is the keeper of secrets. Don't go back to sleep. It is time for prayer, it is time to ask for what you really need. Don't go back to sleep. The door of the one who created the world is always open. Don't go back to sleep. In this garden. O soul, who is that standing in the house of the heart? Who may be on the royal throne but the king and the prince? He signaled with his hand, "Tell me, what do you want of me? What does a drunken man desire but sweetmeats and a cup of wine? Sweetmeats hanging from the heart, a cup of pure light, an eternal banquet laid in the privacy of He is the truth. How many deceivers there are at the wine drinker's feast! Beware, lest you fall, soft and simple man. In the circle of reprobates beware lest you be eye shut like the bud, mouth open like the rose. The world is like a mirror, the image of the perfection of love, men, who has ever seen a part greater than the whole? Go on foot like the grass, for in this rose garden the beloved like a rose is riding, all the rest are on foot. He is both sword and swordsman, both slain and slayer, all reason, and giving reason to the mind. That king is Salahuddin, may he endure forever, may his bountiful hand be perpetually a necklace on my neck. I want that love that moved the mountains. I want that love that split the ocean. I want that love that made the winds tremble. I want that love that roared like thunder. I want that love that will raise the dead. I want that love that lifts us to ecstasy. I want that love that is the silence of eternity. I am an atom, you are like the countenance of the sun for me. I am a patient of love, you are like medicine for me. Without wings, without feathers, I fly about looking for you. I have become a rose petal and you are like the wind for me. Take me for a ride. We are the mirror, as well as the face in it. We are tasting the taste of eternity this minute. We are pain and what cures pain. We are the sweet cold water and the jar that pours. Soul of the world, no life, nor world remain, no beautiful women and men longing. Only this ancient love circling the holy black stone of nothing. Where the lover is the loved, the horizon and everything within it. Listen to presence's inside poems, let them take you where they will. Follow those private hints, and never leave the premises. You are the source of the sun. And I am the willow's shadow. Oh, You have struck me on the head, wretch that I am, on fire am I. You consider issues, but not deeply enough. Your spring is frozen. Faith is a-flowing. Don't try to forge cold iron. Study David, the ironsmith, and dancer, and musician. Move into the sun. You're wrapped in fantasy and inner mumbling. When spirit enters, a man begins to wander freely, escaped and overrunning through the garden plants, spontaneous and soaking in. Now a miracle story. You came suddenly, shook me from my sleep and vanished. In my heart you rose like the moon, but as I glanced at you, you disappeared. Having had a glimpse of your garden, I have no more the patience to endure my existence. Late, by myself, in the boat of myself, no light and no land anywhere, cloud cover thick. I try to stay just above the surface, yet I'm already under and living within the ocean. My love, you are closer to me than myself. You shine through my eyes, your light is brighter than the moon. Step into the garden, sow all the flowers. Even the tall poplar can kneel before your beauty. Let your voice silence the lily, famous for its 100 tongues, when you want to be kind. You are softer than the soul. But when you withdraw, you can be so cold and harsh. Dear one, you can be wild and rebellious. But when you meet him face to face, his charm will make you docile like the earth. Throw away your shield and bare your chest. There is no stronger protection than him. That's why when the lover withdraws from the world, he covers all the cracks in the wall. So the outside light cannot come, though he knows that only the inner light illuminates his world. Rumi, you are sitting here with us, but you are also out walking in a field at dawn. You are yourself the animal we hunt when you come with us on the hunt. You are in your body like a plant is solid in the ground, yet you are wind. You are the diver's clothes lying empty on the beach. You are the fish. In the ocean are many bright strands and many dark strands like veins that are seen when a wing is lifted up. Your hidden self is blood in those veins that are lute strings that make ocean music, not the sad edge of surf, but the sound of no shore. So recklessly exposed. December and January, gone. Tulips coming up. It's time to watch how trees stagger in the wind and roses never rest. Wisteria and jasmine twist on themselves. Violet kneels to hyacinth, who bows. Narcissus winks, wondering what will the light-headed willow say of such slow dancing by cypress. Painters come outdoors with brushes. I love their hands. The birds sing suddenly and all at once. The soul says yoo-hoo, quietly. A dove calls, where, coo. Soul, you will find it. Now the roses show their breasts. No one hides when the friend arrives. The rose speaks openly to the nightingale. Notice how the green lily has several tongues but still keeps her secret. Now the nightingale sings this love that is so recklessly exposed, like you. First, when I was apart from you, this world did not exist, nor any other. Second, whatever I was looking for was always you. What else can I say? You will only hear what you are ready to hear. Don't nod your head, don't try to fool me, the truth of what you see is written all over your face. Rumi, there is a place born of silence, a place where the whispers of the heart arise. There is a place where voices sing your beauty, a place where every breath carves your image in my soul. My soul is from elsewhere, I'm sure of that, and I intend to end up there. This drunkenness began in some other tavern. When I get back around to that place, I'll be completely sober. Don't run around this world looking for a hole to hide in. There are wild beasts in every cave. If you live with mice, the cat claws will find you. You were born with potential. You were born with goodness and trust. You were born with ideals and dreams. You were born with greatness. You were born with wings. You are not meant for crawling, so don't. You have wings. Learn to use them and fly. You are my wine, my joy, my garden, my springtime, my slumber, my repose. Without you, I can't cope. Die, Die. Die in this love. If you die in this love, your soul will be renewed. Die. Die. Don't fear the death of that which is known. If you die to the temporal, you will become timeless. Imagine a man selling his donkey to be with Jesus. Now imagine him selling Jesus to get a ride on a donkey. This does happen. Jesus can transform a drunk into gold. If the drunk is already golden, he can be changed to pure diamond. If already that, he can become the circling planets, Jupiter, Venus, the moon. Never think that you are worthless. God has paid an enormous amount for you, and the gifts keep arriving. When you look for God, God is in the look of your eyes, in the thought of looking nearer to you than yourself, or things that have happened to you. There's no need to go outside. Be melting snow. Wash yourself of yourself. A white flower grows in the quietness. Let your tongue become that flower. Go with muddy feet. When you hear dirty story, wash your ears. When you see ugly stuff, wash your eyes. When you get bad thoughts, wash your mind. And keep your feet muddy. This is a gathering of lovers. In this gathering there is no high, no low, no smart, no ignorant, no special assembly, no grand discourse, no proper schooling required. There is no master, no disciple. Because I cannot sleep. Because I cannot sleep, I make music at night. I am troubled by the one whose face has the color of spring flowers. I have neither sleep nor patience, neither a good reputation nor disgrace. 1,000 robes of wisdom are gone. All my good manners have moved 1,000 miles away. The heart and the mind are left angry with each other. The stars and the moon are envious of each other. Because of this alienation, the physical universe is getting tighter and tighter. The moon says, "How long will I remain suspended without a sun? Without love's jewel inside of me, let the bazaar of my existence be destroyed stone by stone." O love, you who have been called by 1,000 names, you who know how to pour the wine into the chalice of the body, you who give culture to 1,000 cultures, you who are faceless but have 1,000 faces, O love, you who shape the faces of Turks, Europeans, and Zanzibaris, give me a glass from your bottle, or a handful of being from your branch. Remove the cork once more. Then we'll see 1,000 chiefs prostrate themselves, and a circle of ecstatic troubadours will play. Then the addict will be freed of craving, and will be resurrected, and stand in awe till judgment. You call out, "I am the lover," but these are mere words. If you see lover and beloved as two, you either have double vision, or you can't count. A woman is a beam of the divine light. She is not the being whom sensual desire takes as its object. She is a creator. It should be said, she is not a creature. She is infinite. Love can find all this. Maulana's last letter to Shams. Sometimes I wonder, sweetest love, if you were a mere dream in a long winter night, a dream of spring days, and of golden light which sheds its rays upon a frozen heart, a dream of wine that fills the drunken eye. And so I wonder, sweetest love, if I should drink this ruby wine, or rather weep, each tear a bezel with your face engraved, a rosary to memorize your name. There are so many ways to call you back, yes, even if you only were a dream. I came with many knots in my heart, like the magician's rope. You undid them all at once. I see now the splendor of the student and that of the teacher's art. Love and this body sit inside your presence, one demolished, the other drunk. We smile. We weep, tree limbs turning sere, then light green. When love comes suddenly and taps on your window, run and let it in, but first shut the door of your reason. Even the smallest hint chases love away like smoke that drowns the freshness of the morning breeze. To reason love can only say, the way is barred, you can't pass through, but to the lover it offers 100 blessings. Before the mind decides to take a step, love has reached the 7th heaven. Before the mind can figure how love has climbed the holy mountain. I must stop this talk now and let love speak from its nest of silence. Love is neither a tale nor a game. Love is such a powerful torrent that no one can stand in front of it. Love is the flame which, when it blazes, consumes everything other than the beloved. Should everything pass away, it couldn't happen without you. This heart of mine bears your imprint, it has nowhere else to turn. The eye of the intellect is drunk with you, the wheeling galaxy is humble before you, the ear of ecstasy is in your hand, nothing happens without you. The soul is bubbling with you, the heart imbibes from you, the intellect bellows in rapture, nothing happens without you. You, my grape wine and my intoxication, my rose garden and my springtime, my sleep and repose, nothing happens without you. You are my grandeur and glory, you are my possessions and prosperity, you are my purest water, nothing happens without you. You are the source of my life. You separate essence from mud. You honor my soul. You bring rivers from the mountain springs. You brighten my eyes. The wine you offer takes me out of myself into the self we share. Doing that is religion, O beloved, take me. Liberate my soul. Fill me with your love and release me from the two worlds. If I set my heart on anything but you, let fire burn me from inside. O beloved, take away what I want. Take away what I do. Take away what I need. Take away everything that takes me from you. I swear, since seeing your face, the whole world is fraud and fantasy. The garden is bewildered as to what is leaf or blossom. The distracted birds can't distinguish the birdseed from the snare. A house of love with no limits, a presence more beautiful than Venus or the moon, a beauty whose image fills the mirror of the heart. An empty garlic. You miss the garden, because you want a small fig from a random tree. You don't meet the beautiful woman. You're joking with an old crone. It makes me want to cry how she detains you, stinking-mouthed, with 100 talons, putting her head over the roof edge to call down, tasteless fig, fold over fold, empty as dry rotten garlic. She has you tight by the belt, even though there's no flour and no milk inside her body. Death will open your eyes to what her face is, leather spine of a black lizard. No more advice. Let yourself be silently drawn by the stronger pull of what you really love. Be lost in the call, Lord, said David, since you do not need us, why did you create these two worlds? Reality replied, O prisoner of time, I was a secret treasure of kindness and generosity, and I wished this treasure to be known, so I created a mirror, its shining face, the heart, its darkened back, the world. The back would please you if you've never seen the face. Has anyone ever produced a mirror out of mud and straw? Yet clean away the mud and straw, and a mirror might be revealed. Until the juice ferments a while in the cask, it isn't wine. If you wish your heart to be bright, you must do a little work. My king addressed the soul of my flesh, you return just as you left. Where are the traces of my gifts? We know that alchemy transforms copper into gold. This son doesn't want a crown or robe from God's grace. He is a hat to 100 bald men, a covering for 10 who are naked. Jesus sat humbly on the back of an ass, my child. How could a zephyr ride an ass? Spirit, find your way, in seeking lowness like a stream. Reason, tread the path of selflessness into eternity. Remember God so much that you are forgotten. Let the caller and the call disappear, be lost in the call. O you who've gone on pilgrimage, where are you? Where, oh where? Here is the beloved. Oh come now, come, oh come. Your friend, he is your neighbor, he is next to your wall. You, erring in the desert. What air of love is this? If you'd see the beloved's form without any form. You are the house, the master, you are the Kaaba, you. Where's a bunch of roses, if you would be this garden? Where, one soul's pearly essence when you're the sea of God? That's true, and yet your troubles may turn to treasures rich. How sad that you yourself veil the treasure that is yours. Oh, if a tree could wander and move with foot and wings, it would not suffer the axe blows and not the pain of saws. For would the sun not wander away in every night? How could it have? Wry morning the world be lighted up? And if the ocean's water would not rise to the sky, how would the plants be quickened by streams and gentle rain? The drop that left its homeland, the sea, and then returned? It found an oyster waiting and grew into a pearl. Did Yusuf not leave his father, in grief and tears and despair? Did he not, by such a journey, gain kingdom and fortune wide? Did not the prophet travel to far Medina, friend? And there he found a new kingdom and ruled 100 lands. You lack a foot to travel? Then journey into yourself. And like a mine of rubies receive the sunbeams? Print out of yourself? Such a journey will lead you to yourself. It leads to transformation of dust into pure gold. Come, come, whoever you are. Wanderer, worshipper, lover of leaving. It doesn't matter. Ours is not a caravan of despair. Come, even if you have broken your vow 1,000 times, come, yet again, come, come. We are as the flute, and the music in us is from thee, we are as the mountain and the echo in us is from thee. We are as pieces of chess engaged in victory and defeat, our victory and defeat is from thee, O thou whose qualities are comely. Who are we, O thou soul of our souls, that we should remain in being beside thee? We and our existences are really non-existence, thou art the absolute being which manifests the perishable. We all are lions, but lions on a banner, because of the wind they are rushing onward from moment to moment. Their onward rush is visible, and the wind is unseen. May that which is unseen not fail from us. Our wind whereby we are moved and our being are of thy gift, our whole existence is from thy bringing into being. On the deathbed go, rest your head on a pillow, leave me alone, leave me ruined, exhausted from the journey of this night, writhing in a wave of passion till the dawn. Either stay and be forgiving, or, if you like, be cruel and leave. Flee from me, away from trouble, take the path of safety, far from this danger. We have crept into this corner of grief, turning the water wheel with a flow of tears. While a tyrant with a heart of flint slays, and no one says, prepare to pay the blood money. Faith in the King comes easily in lovely times, but be faithful now and endure, pale lover. No cure exists for this pain but to die, so why should I say, cure this pain? In a dream last night I saw an ancient one in the garden of love, beckoning with his hand, saying, come here. On this path, love is the emerald, the beautiful green that wards off dragon snuff, I am losing myself. If you are a man of learning, read something classic, a history of the human struggle, and don't settle for mediocre verse. May these vows and this marriage be blessed. May it be sweet milk, this marriage, like wine and halva. May this marriage offer fruit and shade like the date palm. May this marriage be full of laughter, our every day a day in paradise. May this marriage be a sign of compassion, a seal of happiness here and hereafter. May this marriage have a fair face and a good name, an omen as welcomes the moon and a clear blue sky. I am out of words to describe how spirit mingles in this marriage. This world which is made of our love for emptiness prays to the emptiness that blanks out existence. Existence, this place made from our love for that emptiness. Yet somehow comes emptiness, this existence goes. Praise to that happening, over and over. For years I pulled my own existence out of emptiness. Then one swoop, one swing of the arm, that work is over. Free of who I was, free of presence, free of dangerous fear, hope, free of mountainous wanting. The here and now mountain is a tiny piece of straw blown off into emptiness. These words I'm saying so much begin to lose meaning, existence, emptiness, mountain, straw, words and what they try to say swept out the window, down the slant of the roof. The drum of the realization of the promise is beating, we are sweeping the road to the sky. Your joy is here today, what remains for tomorrow? The armies of the day have chased the army of the night, heaven and earth are filled with purity and light. Oh! Joy for he who has escaped from this world of perfumes and color. For beyond these colors and these perfumes, these are other colors in the heart and the soul. Oh! Joy for this soul and this heart who have escaped the earth of water and clay, although this water and this clay contain the hearth of the philosophical stone. At every instant and from every side, resounds the call of love, we are going to sky, who wants to come with us? We have gone to heaven, we have been the friends of the angels, and now we will go back there, for there is our country. We are higher than heaven, more noble than the angels, why not go beyond them? Our goal is the supreme majesty. What has the fine pearl to do with the world of dust? Why have you come down here? Take your baggage back. What is this place? Luck is with us, to us is the sacrifice, like the birds of the sea, men come from the ocean of the soul. Like the birds of the sea, men come from the ocean of the soul. How could this bird, born from that sea, make his dwelling here? No, we are the pearls from the bosom of the sea, it is there that we dwell, otherwise how could the wave succeed to the wave that comes from the soul? The wave named Am I Not Your Lord has come, it has broken the vessel of the body, and when the vessel is broken, the vision comes back, and the union with him. Our death is our wedding with eternity. What is the secret? God is one. The sunlight splits when entering the windows of the house. This multiplicity exists in the cluster of grapes, it is not in the juice made from the grapes. For he who is living in the light of God, the death of the carnal soul is a blessing. Regarding him, say neither bad nor good, for he is gone beyond the good and the bad. Fix your eyes on God and do not talk about what is invisible, so that he may place another look in your eyes. It is in the vision of the physical eyes that no invisible or secret thing exists. But when the eye is turned toward the light of God, what thing could remain hidden under such a light? Although all lights emanate from the divine light, don't call all these lights the light of God, it is the eternal light which is the light of God. The ephemeral light is an attribute of the body and the flesh, O God who gives the grace of vision. The bird of vision is flying towards you with the wings of desire. I've said before that every craftsman searches for what's not there to practice his craft. A builder looks for the rotten hole where the roof caved in. A water carrier picks the empty pot. A carpenter stops at the house with no door. Workers rush toward some hint of emptiness, which they then start to fill. Their hope, though, is for emptiness, so don't think you must avoid it. It contains what you need. Dear soul, if you were not friends with the vast nothing inside, why would you always be casting your net into it, and waiting so patiently? This invisible ocean has given you such abundance, but still you call it death, that which provides you sustenance and work. God has allowed some magical reversal to occur, so that you see the scorpion pit as an object of desire, and all the beautiful expanse around it, as dangerous and swarming with snakes. This is how strange your fear of death and emptiness is, and how perverse the attachment to what you want. Now that you've heard me on your misapprehensions, dear friend, listen to Adder's story on the same subject. He strung the pearls of this about King Mahmud, how among the spoils of his Indian campaign there was a Hindu boy, whom he adopted as a son. He educated and provided royally for the boy and later made him vice-regent, seated on a gold throne beside himself. One day he found the young man weeping. "Why are you crying? You're the companion of an emperor. The entire nation is ranged out before you like stars that you can command." The young man replied, "I am remembering my mother and father, and how they scared me as a child with threats of you." Uh-oh, he's headed for King Mahmud's court. Nothing could be more hellish. Where are they now when they should see me sitting here? This incident is about your fear of changing. You are the Hindu boy. Mahmud, which means praise to the end, is the spirit's poverty or emptiness. The mother and father are your attachment to beliefs and blood ties and desires and comforting habits. Don't listen to them. They seem to protect but they imprison. They are your worst enemies. They make you afraid of living in emptiness. Someday you'll weep tears of delight in that court, remembering your mistaken parents. Know that your body nurtures the spirit, helps it grow, and gives it wrong advice. The body becomes, eventually, like a vest of chainmail in peaceful years, too hot in summer and too cold in winter. But the body's desires, in another way, are like an unpredictable associate, whom you must be patient with. And that companion is helpful, because patience expands your capacity to love and feel peace. The patience of a rose close to a thorn keeps it fragrant. It's patience that gives milk to the male camel still nursing in its third year, and patience is what the prophets show to us. The beauty of careful sewing on a shirt is the patience it contains. Friendship and loyalty have patience as the strength of their connection. Feeling lonely and ignoble indicates that you haven't been patient. Be with those who mix with God as honey blends with milk, and say, anything that comes and goes, rises and sets, is not what I love. Else you'll be like a caravan fire left to flare itself out alone beside the road. These spiritual window shoppers, who idly ask, how much is that? Oh, I'm just looking. They handle 100 items and put them down, shadows with no capital. What is spent is love and 2 eyes wet with weeping. But these walk into a shop, and their whole lives pass suddenly in that moment, in that shop. Where did you go? Nowhere. What did you have to eat? Nothing much. Even if you don't know what you want, buy something, to be part of the exchanging flow. Start a huge, foolish project, like Noah. It makes absolutely no difference what people think of you. I died from minerality and became vegetable, and from vegetativeness I died and became animal. I died from animality and became man. Then why fear disappearance through death? Next time I shall die, bringing forth wings and feathers like angels. After that, soaring higher than angels dash. What you cannot imagine. I shall be that. Soul receives from soul that knowledge, therefore not by book, nor from tongue. If knowledge of mysteries come after emptiness of mind, that is, illumination of heart. If thou wilt be observant and vigilant, thou wilt see at every moment the response to thy action. Be observant if thou wouldst have a pure heart, for something is born to thee in consequence of every action. I said, thou art harsh, like such a one. No, he replied. That I am harsh for good, not from rancor and spite. Whoever enters saying, this I smite him on the brow. For this is the shrine of love, O fool. It is not a sheep coat. Rub thine eyes, and behold the image of the heart. Make yourself free from self at one stroke. Like a sword be without trace of soft iron. Like a steel mirror, scour off all rust with contrition. A star without a name. When a baby is taken from the wet nurse, it easily forgets her, and starts eating solid food. Seeds feed a while on ground, then lift up into the sun. So you should taste the filtered light, and work your way toward wisdom, with no personal covering. That's how you came here, like a star, without a name. Move across the night sky, with those anonymous lights. God has given us a dark wine so potent that, drinking it, we leave the 2 worlds. God has put into the form of hashish a power to deliver the taster from self-consciousness. God has made sleep so that it erases every thought. God made Majnun love Layla so much that just her dog would cause confusion in him. There are thousands of wines that can take over our minds. Don't think all ecstasies are the same. Jesus was lost in his love for God. His donkey was drunk with barley. Drink from the presence of saints, not from those other jars. Every object, every being, is a jar full of delight. Be a connoisseur, and taste with caution. Any wine will get you high. Judge like a king, and choose the purest, the ones unadulterated with fear, or some urgency about what's needed. Drink the wine that moves you, as a camel moves when it's been untied, and is just ambling about. Gone to the unseen. At last you have departed and gone to the unseen. What marvelous route did you take from this world? Beating your wings and feathers, you broke free from this cage, rising up to the sky. You attained the world of the soul. You were a prized falcon trapped by an old woman. Then you heard the drummer's call, and flew beyond space and time. As a lovesick nightingale, you flew among the owls. Then came the scent of the rose garden, and you flew off to meet the rose. The wine of this fleeting world caused your head to ache. Finally you joined the tavern of eternity. Like an arrow, you sped from the bow and went straight for the bullseye of bliss. This phantom world gave you false signs, but you turned from the illusion and journeyed to the land of truth. You are now the sun. What need have you for a crown? You have vanished from this world. What need have you to tie your robe? I've heard that you can barely see your soul. But why look at all? Yours is now the soul of souls. O heart, what a wonderful bird you are. Seeking divine heights, flapping your wings, you smash the pointed spears of your enemy. The flowers flee from autumn, but not you. You are the fearless rose that grows amidst the freezing wind. Pouring down like the rain of heaven, you fell upon the rooftop of this world. Then you ran in every direction and escaped through the drain spout. Now the words are over and the pain they bring is gone. Now you have gone to rest in the arms of the beloved. How did you get away? You were the pet falcon of an old woman. Did you hear the falcon drum? You were a drunken songbird put in with owls. Did you smell the odor of a garden? You got tired of sour fermenting and left the tavern. You went like an arrow to the target from the bow of time and place. The man who stays at the cemetery pointed the way, but you didn't go. You became light and gave up wanting to be famous. You don't worry about what you're going to eat, so why buy an engraved belt? I've heard of living at the center, but what about leaving the center of the center? Flying toward thankfulness, you become the rare bird with one wing made of fear, and one of hope. In autumn, a rose crawling along the ground in the cold wind. Rain on the roof runs down and out by the spout as fast as it can. Talking is pain. Lie down and rest, now that you've found a friend to be with. He comes. He comes, a moon who's like the sky ne'er saw, awake or dreaming. Crowned with eternal flame no flood can lay. Lo, from the flagon of thy love, O Lord, my soul is swimming, and ruined all my body's house of clay. When first the giver of the grape my lonely heart befriended, wine fired my bosom and my veins filled up. But when his image all men I possessed, a voice descended, well done, O sovereign wine and peerless cup. Love's mighty arm from roof to base each dark abode is hewing, where chinks reluctant catch a golden ray. My heart, when love's sea of a sudden burst into its viewing, leapt headlong in, with find me now who may. As, the sun moving, clouds behind him run, all hearts attend thee, O Tabriz's son. Poor copies out of heaven's originals, pale earthly pictures mouldering to decay, what care although your beauties break and fall, when that which gave them life endures for aye? O never vex thine heart with idle woes, all high discourse enchanting the rapt ear, all gilded landscapes and brave glistering shows fade perish, but it is not as we fear. Whilst far away the living fountains ply, each petty brook goes brimful to the main, since barren nor fountain can forever die. Thy fears how foolish, thy lament how vain. What is this fountain? Wouldst thou rightly know? The soul whence issue all created things. Doubtless the rivers shall not cease to flow, till silenced are the everlasting springs. Farewell to sorrow, and with quiet mind drink long and deep, let others fondly deem the channel empty they perchance may find, or fathom that unfathomable stream. The moment thou to this low world wast given, a ladder stood whereby thou mightst aspire, and first thy steps, which upward still have striven, from mineral mounted to the plant, then higher to animal existence, next, the man, with knowledge, reason, faith. O wondrous goal! This body, which a crumb of dust began, how fairly fashioned the consummate whole. Yet stay not here thy journey, thou shalt grow an angel bright and home far off in heaven. Plod on, plunge last in the great sea, that so thy little drop make ocean 7 times 7. The Son of God. Nay, leave that word unsaid, say, God is one, the pure, the single truth. What though thy frame be withered, old, and dead, if the soul keep her fresh immortal youth? Departure. Up, O ye lovers, and away. 'Tis time to leave the world for aye. Hark, loud and clear from heaven the from of parting calls, let none delay. The cameleer hath risen amain, made ready all the camel train, and quittance now desires to gain. Why sleep ye, travelers, I pray? Behind us and before there swells the din of parting and of bells, to shoreless space each moment sails a disembodied spirit away. From yonder starry lights, and through those curtain awnings darkly blue, mysterious figures float in view, all strange and secret things display. From this orb, wheeling round its pole, a wondrous slumber o'er thee stole. O weary life that weighest not, O sleep that on my soul dost weigh. O heart, toward thy heart's love wend, and O friend, fly toward the friend. Be wakeful, watchman, to the end, drowse seemingly no watchman may. Remembered music. 'Tis said, the pipe and lute that charm our ears derive their melody from rolling spheres, but faith, o'er passing speculations bound, can see what sweetens every jangled sound. We, who are parts of Adam, heard with him the song of angels and of seraphim. Out memory, though dull and sad, retains some echo still of those unearthly strains. Oh, music is the meat of all who love. Music uplifts the soul to realms above. The ashes glow, the latent fires increase, we listen and are fed with joy and peace. The Spirit of the Saints. There is a water that flows down from heaven to cleanse the world of sin by grace divine. At last, its whole stock spent, its virtue gone. Dark with pollution not its own, it speeds back to the fountain of all purities, whence, freshly bathed, earthward it sweeps again, trailing a robe of glory bright and pure. This water is the Spirit of the Saints, which ever sheds, until itself is beggared, God's balm on the sick soul, and then returns to him who made the purest light of heaven.
And that's not all, our experts and regular viewers respond to all comments. Also check if you forgot to subscribe and set your bell to receive notifications about new audiobooks and other useful self-development materials that we release regularly. Join in the discussions, don't forget to give likes and, if possible and inspired, support the development of the channel financially. All useful links will be in the description and the first attached comment. Goodness, love and wisdom to all. And now move on to watch the next part of the video at the links below, or choose something from the playlists of the channel and those you see on the screen.